Mike Cardano with Roto Experts in the Fantasy Sports Network here with you on this Tuesday, April 8th. Congratulations to the Yukon Huskies who won their second national championship in 4 seasons and their 4th since 1999 last evening. Now they beat up on a bunch of freshmen if you view that as some kind of an accomplishment. And apparently, the Kentucky faithful in Cincinnati, just a hop, skip, and jump across the Ohio River, are refusing to concede though, as ABC 9 in Cincy is steadfast that despite what you saw, it was Kentucky that actually won the contest 60-54. Not sure how long they're going to carry on this charade, but we know who won. And with the conclusion of that tournament, it's now officially baseball season for at least 30 days until the 2014 NFL Draft takes center stage. Remember in spring training when no one could get Mike Moustakas out? Remember when I told you to pay no mind to the preseason stats because it just doesn't matter? Moose had an absurd .431 batting average, a slugging percentage of .531, and an OPS of .784 with 11 walks and just 8 strikeouts in spring training. Moustakas has now stepped to the plate 21 times so far this season playing for keeps with no hits. Nothing. Nada. Zilch. Zippo. Nil. Not a good start. But Billy Hamilton is now off the schneid with his first hit. He had a double in yesterday's game. Maybe that now breaks the ice for him and he starts getting on base, running wild. We'll have to see. All right, on to today's action. Last season, Aaron Harang's 5.40 ERA was the 4th highest among 107 pitchers to work at least 140 innings. And we didn't allow a hit until a leadoff single in the 7th inning of a 1-0 win in Milwaukee in his first outing this year. But I'm not expecting that trend to continue, not even against the Mets lineup. Mets third baseman David Wright is $4,300 on DraftKings today. That's a full $1,000 cheaper than Miguel Cabrera. But he's 11 for 21 against Harang in his career, and that's just too successful not to go with the trend. Sticking with the Mets, believe it or not, Daniel Murphy is somehow only $2,800 over at FanDuel today, with 22 other second basemen priced higher than he is. I really don't get that. He's healthy, he just became a father and he's proud. In sort of a stealthy way, Murphy was the 5th highest scoring second baseman in fantasy last season. Combine that with the fact that Murphy's hitting .364 lifetime against Aaron Harang, and you don't get points taken off every time he makes an error at second base, and I want to take advantage of the pricing anomaly today and see what the Murph can do with 4 or 5 at-bats. While Matt Wieters and Chris Davis aren't exactly bargains at their positions today, I'd be remiss if I did not point out that Wieters is hitting .379 with 4 home runs in 29 career at-bats against Yankees starter Ivan Nova. And Davis is batting .348 with 3 home runs in 23 career at-bats against Nova. So if you're willing to pay up a bit, you have some numbers on your side there. But if I'm going to be picking one guy I want to pay up for today, it's going to be Andrew McCutchen. The reigning NL MVP is 8 for 21 with 2 homers and 5 walks against Cubs starter Edwin Jackson. Now the game is at Wrigley Field today, where McCutchen's on-base percentage is a gaudy .488, easily his best at any ballpark. We had some games postponed yesterday due to weather, but everything looks peachy today. Now there may be a few showers in Seattle, but they've got one of those retractable roof thingies over there. Now we're going to be talking about this often this season, and in April this issue is magnified more than ever. You need to check the weather at ballparks before setting your rosters when playing daily fantasy baseball each and every time you do it. Now for more daily fantasy coverage, tune in weekdays to the Roto Experts in the Morning Show with Scott Engel and Adam Ronis from 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on the Fantasy Sports Network or on SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio, Sirius 210 XM 87. And for you West Coast folks, we don't ask you to wake up at 3 a.m. We'll replay the show here on the network for you during your 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. time slot. And weekdays from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio, we've got the first word on Daily Fantasy with coverage from Dr. Roto and Tony Sincata, along with Daily Fantasy industry heavyweights Drew Dinkmeyer and Mike Leone, and some of the most well-known daily fantasy players in the space. So tune in for that. Now, good luck today, everyone, as always, unless, of course, you are matched up head-to-head or in a tournament against me, and in that case, I will be forced to make you tap out so you don't get hurt. But remember, this is not personal, just fantasy.